She was getting up to play baseball, but before she could hit, the pitcher wanted to show how far she could kick the ball. And interesting, she kicked it. So she kicked the ball over a building, so clearly a home run, and everybody on the team had to wait for the pitcher to go get the ball. But she said everyone was happy because they were impressed with the pitcher's talents. Smiles. Hello, welcome to Dream Dowsing. We are your hosts, Kim and Margarita, and we're so happy to have you here with us today. As always, we have a dream to share with you and analyze, and Margarita is going to use her pendulum to show me if I'm on the right track. That is such a pretty pendulum. If you're listening and not watching, it's a DNA golden
DNA spiral.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It does look like a giant strand of DNA. I think it's like 5 or 6 inches tall. It's shiny brass, 6 inches long. Yeah, it's very beautiful, and it's nice because while I am interpreting the dreams, Margarita is using the pendulum to show me whether or not I'm on the right track, which is really helpful.
Yeah. Well, I actually think sometimes you explain it better than I do, but you're right. If you're going on the right track, the pendulum is saying like yes, which is a forward and back. Which is kind of how you will nod your head. And
Okay.
same when it's saying no, it's side to side, which is kind of because that was just easy for me. If for any reason the pendulum is thinking about, oh, do I agree with Kim or do not, and it's unsure, it starts going counterclockwise. It starts moving counterclockwise.
Okay.
And by the way, this pendulum is also weighs like 3.5 pounds. So I usually use my chair to rest my arm. And in healing, actually moves a lot. So, the arm kind of gets tired and the hand. But
Okay.
so that's what we will be doing. So excited to be here again with
Yeah.
you, Kim.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I'm sorry for making faces earlier. If that ends up not being cut out, the cat was falling and was stuck in my sweater. So, and he weighs much more than 3.5 pounds. All right, so I do look up symbols when I need help with them, and but some of the symbols I just know. Some symbols, as I'm reading them, may not really resonate with you because you'll say that's not how I would interpret that symbol, and that's fine. All I'm doing is interpreting it the way that it makes sense to me, and it matters how it would resonate with you. That's ultimately the way to interpret any dream, is to have it resonate with you. But sometimes we need help from other people to interpret our dreams. So let's start with the dream. I'm going to look at my notes here on this one. This dream is about a woman who was on a women's baseball team. And it says it was her turn to get up to bat on the team, and that said she was happy. She felt happy that she was going to get up to bat. She doesn't indicate she was nervous. She was getting up to play baseball, but before she could hit, the pitcher wanted to show how far she could kick the ball. And interesting, she kicked it. So she kicked the ball over a building, so clearly a home run, and everybody on the team had to wait for the pitcher to go get the ball. But she said everyone was happy because they were impressed with the pitcher's talents to bat. She doesn't indicate she was nervous. She was getting up to play baseball, but before she could hit, the pitcher wanted to show how far she could kick the ball. And interesting, she kicked it. So she kicked the ball over a building, so clearly a home run, and everybody on the team had to wait for the pitcher to go get the ball. So it doesn't sound like there's any animosity there. And so that's the dream. So that's interesting. Baseball represents collaboration. It's a sport, when you're working. It's not like tennis is about you. It's baseball. It is a team sport. It's about working together on something, a goal or something like that, or a project that you're working on. It shows some collaboration. It's interesting that this is a women's. Okay, so I stop myself here. You have your pendulum swinging back and forth, so it is agreeing with this.
It's just agreeing with whatever you are saying. That's really it.
We just want to share if you're just listening while you're driving in your car, then you're not seeing. So I want to make sure you're clear what the pendulum's doing, because I can see it. It's moving and swinging back and forth. So what's interesting is, so everyone's coming together to work on this dream I mean, on this game together. It's a team effort. And so when you're dreaming about a team, a baseball team, every player on the team is likely an aspect of your own personality. And if it's the other team, it would still be an aspect of your personality, but it might be the negative aspects of your personality, because that's what you're up against, is the other team. So that might be some part of yourself that you are struggling with. This particular dream does not indicate another team, but what's interesting is that there's a pitcher who wants to show off. So the pitcher's the one who's throwing out the ball, throwing out the ideas or something like that. That might represent somebody on the team, indicating that part of you, your team, your own internal team, that part of you that's throwing out an idea. And when this pitcher threw it out, instead of there being any kind of resentment in the dream, it sounds like everybody on the team was excited about it. So it sounds like this dreamer might be working on some kind of an idea, something new, and is understanding that collaboration is necessary. And so far, the pendulum is still swinging back and forth. Yes. And that there's joy in what everybody is bringing to it. So, okay, the pendulum is swinging in a circle. So that means it's pondering what I've said, probably because I'm talking too
About the joy
fast.
that
About the
everybody
joy.
feels joy. Yeah, I'm just clicking there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just circling. So I'll keep talking, but we're watching it go in circles right now. But that my analysis of this one would be that the dreamer does need to collaborate, in this case, with maybe other people, but also just with aspects of her own personality, because we all have different types of talents that we have, and different ideas. Oh, it's back and forth. No.
Well, I think, Kim, when you were talking about everybody experiencing joy,
Mm-hmm.
it's a no. So whatever that means,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah, that's the only thing. But so that's what it was. Just this pendulum. I may even change to a different pendulum because it's a little slower, just because of the weight
Yeah,
and
it is a
size.
slow spin.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, our next time we can get together, you can try a different one. I know you've got
yeah.
quite a nice collection. But I can't see anything negative in the interpretation of this particular dream, except, I mean, somebody wasn't playing ball the right way. Like the pitcher is supposed to throw the ball, the pitcher is now kicking the ball. But everyone on the team seems like they were supportive from what is written here. It doesn't sound like anybody was resentful of the pitcher or like mad because now she's delaying the game. It seemed like everybody was excited about it. So maybe if this dreamer is coming up with some type of a project, maybe think outside the box. Sorry, maybe think outside the box and come up with something that's a little bit wild and crazy and see where it lands. And it seems like there's going to be support for it. That would be
Yes.
my recommendation. If she's having maybe something she's contemplating in real life, it seems like doing something different, if she's contemplating that, would be well received and maybe successful.
Yeah, yes, the pendulum was definitely agreeing with what you are saying. And when it moves a lot, like I can feel it. I usually call it that it jumps because
Okay.
I could feel it moving very strong and jumping. So your recommendation is like right on.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it's got like sometimes a little kick up. It's not just swinging. It seems like what I can see sometimes is almost a little hop up
Yes,
on the pendulum. Yeah. Okay.
yes.
I see that.
And that's when the answer is like very strong, a yes or a no. You just go.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's the interpretation of that dream, is just go ahead and go for it. See if you can do something interesting, but collaborate with all aspects of yourself in that particular instance. And maybe there's other women that are a part of your team, but also within yourself, other aspects. So if you're good at being creative and you're good at doing the numbers and you're good at doing organizing, I mean, it seems like you have to work with all those aspects of yourself, and it should be very well received.
The working with all aspects of yourself is thinking,
It
okay.
doesn't like that part, or it's
No, no, no.
thinking
It's
about
not
it.
that
It's
it
thinking about it.
doesn't like.
Okay.
It's trying to. Yeah, it went to yes.
To
Yeah.
yes.
Sometimes
Okay.
just ask that. It's like trying to understand what you are saying.
Got it.
So,
Okay. Yeah, but it is swinging. All right. Well, come sit back down with us, Margarita.
okay.
Uh-huh. So that was fun.
Yeah.
What we want you to know is if you're listening and you have a dream that you'd like to share with us, you can go to our website, dreamdowsing.com. And at the bottom of the page, there's a place where you can put in your dream. And so just tell us you know, what the symbols are, what you're thinking of. If you think something has a meaning, go ahead and say that to me. Like if there was a purple teddy bear and that teddy bear is something that's in your real life that's really significant, let us know that. And tell us how you feel about the symbols, because negative symbols can be a negative feeling about a symbol is interpreted differently than a positive feeling, as you might suspect. So, a ball might be something really good if it was making you happy, but if the ball is making you sad, it would probably have a different interpretation. So send that to us. We want to share your dreams on here. It would be fun. All right. So what have you been up to?
Well, I was listening. I just wanted to share with you. I recently listened to a podcast. It was actually on the Edgar Casey official YouTube site. And they were interviewing Anthony Profeta. I don't know if you ever heard of Anthony Profeta. It was my first time.
No, I've heard of other prophetas, but not Anthony Profeta.
Yeah, so he started to talk like since he was very little. He was very interested in medicine. And as a child, he would go into his dad's office, and one time he found the Edgar Casey's Encyclopedia of Healing. And he just started looking at it. I think he was like 16 or 17. And one of the topics that he said it was fascinating for him was that of vibration and frequency. And apparently, Edgar Casey had thousands of readings on vibration. And I found that very interesting because the pendulum, what I'm using, actually that's what it's tapping into. It taps into the wavelength, like everything has a wavelength. So I thought, God, that's so interesting how it's going from the healing power of sound. And now, and the guy was just, Anthony Profeta was just like really, really, really good. So besides that, he said that it was Edgar Casey who actually introduced him to meditation. So he's been meditating for a long time. And he said that when Edgar Casey was talking about vibration, he found out that Edgar Casey started talking about vibration even before Albert Einstein came and started saying, I discovered what this is, vibration and frequency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have no idea about that. I thought that was pretty interesting. And I looked it up and I found out they were born and they died kind of about the same time, like from the 1800s, late 1800s. Yeah, I thought that was interesting too, because I always, when I read something, I always want to kind of like to learn a little more, and I always kind of look into it if it's interesting. So another thing that Edgar Casey said is that he used to tell people if you are sick, or he would recommend some pieces of music, because he said that listen to string music if you feel depressed. And and I actually looked up and I heard the song, the piece, beautiful. It's called Pachelbel's Canon.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, that was one that Edgar Casey was very fond of. And he said he recommended, and apparently when the composer of this piece was writing the music, he was in a beautiful state of being. He said he was in such a state that when people listened to it, they felt that their spiritual centers were balanced. So I thought that was just very interesting. So he goes on about talking about just the sound bath, what he does, and how important it is to be, kind of surrounded by it. But if you listen to it on the radio, a podcast, YouTube, it is not the same as when you are right there present.
Oh, yeah. I would have to agree on that.
Yeah, because also, I mean, you are one too that I love when I attended one time one of your,
drum circle.
Yes, I absolutely loved it. It was really, really nice. So then Anthony started talking, and if you have any questions, just let me know, because I know you also know a lot about this and the healing of music. So Anthony Profeta was saying that he was talking about, he said, all of this is really energy, and the science is behind it now more and more and more. And he said that sound is a like a form of energy which is moving air molecules. I'm like, oh, which is,
I guess,
and
yeah. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
makes sense. So, and he said that sound has to move through something. So it means it has to move through an instrument, a bell,
Hmm.
before it can actually go, and it goes like through it. So I thought that was very, very interesting. It moves over and around our bodies. So when you have a sound bath, when you are there listening to it, then you get that vibration. And
Mm.
what's really fascinating, I'm like, I never saw it that way. I just didn't understand. Then he gave an example of like the ultrasound machine. So
Yeah.
he said that doctors use sound waves. They use
Hmm.
it daily to realign and heal bodies. I'm like, that's
I
interesting.
didn't know that. I thought it was just
I
used
didn't
for
know that.
looking
Even the
at
guys,
stuff.
yeah, the couple who were interviewing him, also it's like, wow, I could have used that if I knew that, and they just went on making some jokes about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently what the ultrasound machine does, they are just nothing but sound waves. That's the only thing they do. They emit sound waves. So there
Hmm.
are diseases like gallstones and kidney stones that can actually be corrected when you pass the sound wave through the body.
Wow. That's pretty neat. That sounds like that could have some pretty neat ramifications for healing of all
Yes,
kinds
yes.
if you
And that
know
was
how to
just,
work with
yeah.
it. Hmm.
Yeah, no, I thought that was like really, really, really good. So he actually gave an example of how a doctor can put the ultrasound machine on someone and on a person,
Hmm.
and then send sound waves, and if they get like the right frequency, they can actually make or break stones like gold,
Oh.
whatever it is. Yeah, but you have to get again the right frequency. It's almost like when I use my pendulum, it is I need to connect with you, or sometimes I need to connect with 3,000. So I start looking for that frequency, for that
Oh,
I call it
okay.
the wavelength. So it's kind of the same thing, and all this information is out there, but we just never like either we are not interested, it's not the right time. But
Yeah.
there's just so much information out there. It's nice that nowadays it's becoming more popular. So I thought the guy was really great. He talks about his experience, how he got into it. He was going to be a medical student. I mean, he was a
Hmm.
medical student,
Yeah.
but he just wanted to get more into the root cause of disease instead of just giving pharmaceuticals. That's to say, I just didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And he went to the Tibet. And at the Tibet, he was meditating,
Hmm.
which is something he learned because of Edgar Casey. And then one of the Tibetan monks, introduced him to the Tibetan bowls. That's how he got into it,
Ah.
came back to the US. He lives in Florida. And from there, all these people that come from how do they call them? That come down from the East Coast and to Florida to get the sun, just
Oh, the snowbirds.
absolute. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that he just got such great feedback, and when they went back, they just kind of spread the word, and pretty much he was traveling all over to the point that even the what's the name of that Cleveland Clinic
Hmm.
contacted him and said, "We heard about you. We know how powerful it is. Come and give us a presentation.
Oh,
Let us
wow.
know about it." And he's been now helping with the cancer unit at the Cleveland Clinic,
Oh my
who's
gosh.
doing, yeah, who's actually doing a more holistic, a more integrative approach.
Hmm.
So I thought that was just really good. Oh, and another thing that I thought was interesting, Kim, was that he said that you have to be careful sometimes with healing vibration, healing music, or healing sound, is
Hmm.
people who have like PTSD or epilepsy or tinnitus, if you play uh, the wrong frequency can actually affect them the wrong way. I mean, he's
Okay.
medical student, so he kind of knows that, but I guess a lot of people who may use music and do not, use the balls, crystal balls or other balls, may not understand that. And one last thing that I thought was really cool for those with tinnitus, he said that with tinnitus, like one of the things is if anybody's familiar with, how you call that, the tuning forks, if someone with tinnitus is able to get help and find the right frequency of the tuning fork, you touch it. I used it one time. I didn't actually know about them, probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they vibrate. That's the
Right.
vibration.
Make a sound.
If you get the right frequency, the specific frequency, you can actually alleviate tinnitus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that would be worth looking into. And I'm sure everybody's different. It's probably not just like, oh, the G is going to be the right one. It's probably has
Exactly.
to be you. That is
Exactly.
interesting. I mean, I have had a sound bath before in person. I found it to be incredible. It's just amazing. And I mean, I never really thought about vibration, but yes, that's what's happening, obviously. And so it fills your body. I mean, it's just such an amazing experience. And I went to a friend's yoga studio and she was using a gong, and it's an enormous gong. I think it's probably 2.5 to 3 feet in diameter. It's enormous. And the sound bath from that was unbelievable. And afterwards, I remember I had my son with me because I thought he would like to attend it too. And we were driving back home, and I was having trouble speaking, trying to explain to him that what I was trying to say is, I bet you could go get one of these recordings of this type of a sound bath on YouTube or something like that. I couldn't remember anything. I was trying to say there's probably these places that you could go find these things with the sound. I mean, I just could not speak right. It was so strange how much the vibration was. And so it's interesting that you're saying you might need to be careful with something like that. And I had an incident about 2 years ago where I hurt my neck really badly, and I came into my office to sit for a little while with the intention of playing something with the binaural beats. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but the beats where you've got a headphone on each ear and the sound is coming from both headphones. It was causing my ear to like give like a feedback vibration to what was happening, so physically uncomfortable that I could not do it. And it was months before I could do that again. So, but all that is a vibration. So it's interesting. But then to learn that those vibrations could then be used for medical purposes and for healing, it all does make sense. It's just something we don't think about, you know?
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that. That was interesting.
Yeah, no, it was, and he's very good. And so if anybody wants to connect with him, it's like AnthonyProfeta.com.
Anthony Profeta. Okay, we can put the link below.
Okay, yeah, and
Okay,
it's
we'll add that below.
PROFETA.com, and
Okay.
he's in Florida. Yeah.
All right, we'll add that in the bottom of the show notes here, so you can go ahead and click on that.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it for us today. This was a good session. So thank you for joining us on Dream Dowsing. And like I said, go to our website if you want to submit your own dream so we can possibly pull that for an upcoming show and use that for analysis. And down below, there's a thumbs up where you can like this episode. There's also a box where you can subscribe so that you'll get notified every time we have a new one coming up. So thank you for joining us. We love you, and we're really happy to be able to share this space with us vibrationally, even if we're not watching at the same time, we're not live. It doesn't matter. The vibration is still there. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Margarita.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.